Local government managers can be the best friend of nonprofit organizations as we share the same mission, to make people's lives better. We just need to establish working relationships, trust, and mutual respect for that to happen. People don't think about how the creative sector can create whole industries in their cities. But when I say New Orleans, you think of jazz. When I say Kansas City, you think of barbecue. When I say Orlando, you maybe think about some theme parks. These are strong marketing brands that bring in tourists and tax dollars. Some cities, like Atlanta or Albuquerque, have looked to the future and realized that the creative sector will make them stand out economically through films and TV show productions and have invested in them. Smart local government managers are always asking themselves, what can make my community a better place, meaning better jobs or increased tax revenue? Their creative economy is one such answer. The question is, when the arts come knocking, are you going to invite them in? Alas, leaders who think they know everything obviously don't. Worse than that, they don't embrace an idea that might not be their own, but which would greatly benefit their communities. That is why you need leaders who are curious and open to new ideas, even if it means taking a little bit of a risk. Elected officials are sometimes loath to take these risks as they face re-elections, but local government managers are a little more experimental with data and often try new things. That is why groups like ICMA are essential, as they provide a menu of new ideas and best practices from across the nation for people to not only learn, but to implement. Americans for the Arts appreciates ICMA for its work in making sure that local government managers have information and resources to partner and work with nonprofit organizations who bring expertise and new ideas. These partnerships will result in lasting, positive outcomes for the residents of your community. Smart local government leaders look for efficiencies and the best ways to plus up programs without substantially adding costs. For the arts, there is sometimes a slight tension on how to invest hotel-motel taxes. Local government managers know the numbers and what works well, and know that nonprofit arts organizations are a solid investment, resulting in a great return, not only fiscally, but emotionally for their residents. For example, in Asheville, North Carolina, after the devastating flooding, leaders knew that the creative economy was essential to recovery. Thus, as they cleaned up, as they started to clean up and started to rebuild, the arts were front and center as they not only helped lift people's spirits, but they provided jobs and were an economic engine. We see local leaders across the country investing in the creative economy because they know not only that their residents demand it, but it makes their communities a better place to live, work, and play. At the end of the day, successful nonprofits will understand the needs of the community and where there's an overlap between the nonprofit's mission and the needs of that community. And people like that local government manager can unite these two issues into a solution which will better the outcome and work to solve those issues. I spend a great deal of my time educating elected and appointed leaders. Regarding the arts, like many topics, people have preconceived notions of what the arts actually do. So often they just think of the traditional arts and they don't realize that the arts are so much more than a museum or a theater, and then they don't see them playing a big part in their community. In reality, the arts are a $1.2 trillion industry, or 4.2% of our gross domestic product, supporting over 5.4 million jobs in every city, county in this country. The industry is larger than the transportation or agricultural sectors, and just behind construction. The arts just don't have that big skyscraper that they can point to that says the arts. In other words, the creative sector is often ignored and taken for granted as people have a narrow view of what they do. But a local government manager, though, who are often more tenured than elected officials, are able to understand the true costs and benefits without as many outside distractions. City or county managers are the number one person I counsel my nonprofit arts members to ignore at their own peril. So often my members focus on the elected officials, of course, but they forget about their own local managers who run the show day in and day out. These local managers see the full breadth and reach of local government and can connect the dots between agencies for efficiency and effectiveness. For example, in the creative sector, a local government manager might see that the arts are involved with health-related issues for seniors. They can then connect this work with their health department or even their housing department to plus up everyone's work to make the outcomes even better for all of the residents.